Hey guys, I just want to give you some thoughts on the rest of the assignments for Unit 3. I'm not going to be grading them until the end, and the reason for that is I want you to sort of approach these last few assignments as preparation for the final finished poster. So you started the unit by looking at a poster and evaluating it, and I showed you this Batman, the Dark Knight poster from Lindsay that I just wanted to review again. I think this is obviously this is a really good, strong layout, but you can borrow this sort of layout. I know I said that before, I'm going to say it again. You can borrow the layout for your own poster. Literally, you can substitute the images and the placement and the text for your own content. You might even sample the color palette. You can parody if you want to, or you can just simply say this, I think this is a good strong layout. So in her case, she says at the top, the worm's eye view adds to the dramatic effect to the poster. You might do something very similar. You might center horizontally and vertically just below center the main subject. So in this case, Batman is just below center vertically and in the middle horizontally. So with that said, I just want to look at assignment number 4. I think this is a great post here. This one, there's lots of images to choose from, but all the images have something to do with one another. And without even really saying anything, I know this is about balancing athletics with academics at UNL. Mainly because of this lecture classroom, all those empty seats, it's a really strong image. And though they're not edited yet, they're not leveled or color corrected or even cropped appropriately. In some cases, say for instance this image here, she might use the clone stamp to get rid of that little excess up in the upper left-hand corner. Things like that can be done later. All in all, these are good images to use. The next one as well, combination of the fruit with that tape measure, tell us it's about losing weight and about being healthy, maintaining a healthy diet. And the color palette that she's chosen helps reinforce that. Just some things with this particular image here. If you're using a tape measure, definitely use don't use somebody else's artwork from the internet. Use your own. So you'll need to take your own photos. But this is good as starter because it's good prep. It gets whoever this is thinking about what they're going to do in their poster. So she might resubmit these later when she takes, when she has all the more information together. So that's to say, you can get everything turned in on time, but you can repost it for a better overall grade because the more you go back and revise, the better that end poster is going to be. What I like here is, although this isn't the most spectacular and interesting photo, turning it black and white helps create a strong value range. And then you can set off or pop off that text against colored colored text against the black and white background. So this is strong for that reason. I've seen this logo. I don't know what Cheesies for DGs is. I've seen it before, like a few times. But at the very least, I know it's something to do with sorority, maybe, and some sort of event. What I think is strong here, and this is the color palette overall matches not only the graphic logo, but it matches the image of the girls as well. So that's helpful. And one thing might be to include not only this orange, but this dark burnt orange into your poster. And it looks like you did that here, close to that anyway, with the text at the top. I just want to show you a couple other photos I think that are just straightforward, very well thought out photographs. They're still not perfectly done. They need to be maybe cropped or the levels need to be adjusted so the lights and the darks are a little more even. But this is a great photo. I know what this is about. It's crystal clear. Same with this one here. Just, overall very creative, and it tells something very much like the very first image. It tells us that this might be about fashion or it might be about theater and literature. So we get a sense for what this is about. And same thing for this. I don't need to see the entire piano or guitar to know that this is about music. I just want to highlight a couple of typographic images that I think work well. These here, I think that they're placed well on the page, and when you look at the divisions and alignment video, you're going to see that this employs a good use of the entire page. So compositionally, these are smart because there isn't all that excess space. You're going to find that when you're making your poster, you're not going to want to overlap things. It's okay to overlap. You want to overlap things, and you want to take up the entire page. So you don't want to have one of those posters with a lot of awkward space. In other words, make things bigger than you think they need to be. And here's one more I think that works pretty well in terms of that. So going back, one last thing to discuss is if you don't want to use images, say for instance you're using the fruit, and maybe you want to simplify this, make it more flat and graphical. You can trace, just like you did with the color exercise, a banana, color it one color of yellow, and you can use just flat graphics, or you can use decorated text like you're going to do for the next assignment, or you can use typography. So don't feel like you have to use an image. These are just ways to prep for the poster, but you can resubmit these as you go. This is meant to be a working assignment so that you're going back and assignment 4, 5, and 6, you're going back and revisiting the same ideas so to have a better idea of how to complete the poster. I won't do any grading until everybody's final poster is handed in. You'll need to use the ideas that you've learned about in Unit 1 with composition, in Unit 2 color, and of course text and typography in Unit 3 here. Pay attention to how things are laid out, and remember, use the entire page. Good luck, and feel free, if you need some feedback while you're working, you can email me. I'll try and get back to you as quick as I can. Okay, good luck, guys.